Welcome to This Week in Gilnor. I'm your host Sonnyboy, and today we will be going over this week's patch notes and updates. Starting off, we got the Fletching re-tier, introducing a bunch of new tiers of bows and arrows, along with new crossbows and bolts. This update also removed the concept of shield bows and merged them into longbows. If it was up to me, I would have merged short and longbows as well, but I'm not that versed in ranged. Though I have no doubt ranged-focused creators like Wings of Absurdity will make videos on this topic relatively soon. The drop tables that included ranged weaponry have been adjusted to conform to the new tiers. So no cheesing God Wars Dungeon 2 for any tier 85 bows. Also, great news, if you want your specialty Baneite arrows, you can now cast Toon Bane ore directly on your Bane bolts and arrows. And you can also use the same spell on Din arrows to turn them into Jazz Demon Bane arrows. Next up, we have the agility rebalance. Majority of courses have gotten a major buff to their XP per lap, with the exception of the Wilderness course and Head's Oasis. Divination also received a rebalance, though this mostly is a minor boost to average success, so you probably won't notice too much of a difference, since majority of your gathered XP will come from entering the rifts rather than from gathering energy. Now, the big changes have been saved for God Wars Dungeon 1. The kill count now functions the same as for God Wars Dungeon 2, meaning that your kill count is no longer reset whenever you leave the dungeon. So if you haven't unlocked any of the metas, so you no longer have to look after kill count, this is a pretty big quality of life upgrade. With the first God Wars dungeon getting an update, they couldn't ignore the second one. So all the reward benefits have been shifted to unlock faster, requiring you to only gather 2000 reputation for each faction instead of 5000. On top of that, the drop rate boosts have been removed from the benefits. Now you have the best possible drop rates right from the start, turning the reputation into an actual nice to have rather than a requirement. Further along the path of improving gameplay quality, a lot of things have been removed. The demonic skull has been removed, but anyone who still had any has had them refunded. A bunch of negative Invention perks have also been removed. As a result, Invention still isn't perfect, but at least your bad rolls will be less punishing now. The dive ability has had its quest requirement removed and is now unlocked at level 30 agility, which is great in this ever-growing map where mobility is king. Red and Crystal Sandstone have had their hit points reduced, so are now easier to gather. So if you were looking into buying flasks, now might finally be the time to do so. Harps in Priveness also got boosted by 40%, though this still is more of a patch than an actual solution in my opinion. An alternative, perhaps more active or combat related way to get Harmonic Dust would be a real solution. Boss instances finally are free to create. Speaking of bosses, the Jad pet now finally actually is a possible drop from killing Jad, instead of a reward from the Soul Wars shop. And your portable gem storages got an upgrade, so they can now store up to 100 gems of each type, whilst now also being able to store Jade, Opal and Red Topaz. On top of that, the Artificer's measure can now be filled with noted gems if you so desire. Next in these patch notes, there are some serious increases in drop rates. The drop rate of the Dragon Pickaxe has been massively increased for Chaos Dwarfs and Chaos Giants, from 1 in 5000 and 1 in 10,000 to 1 in 3000 and 1 in 1000 respectively. The Sanguine Crawlers also received serious buffs to their drop tables, as the drop rates for the Vampirism Gloves have been doubled, and the weighting of their task has been increased. So not only will you get them as a task more often, you will also get their drops more regularly. From new content to older content, the Corporeal Beast also had its drop rates doubled and streamlined across all sigils. And for the final drop rate change, the Barrow's sister also had her drop rates doubled to fall more in line with her brothers. For our final patch note, we got pretty lucky as more items got a luck drop chance modifier added. These items being the Dragon Pickaxe whilst killing Chaos Dwarves and Ogres, unchecked Dragon Eggs from drops, and cow tuber spawns. Some updates also happened to last week's POH rework, most noticeable being various buffs to construction, mostly in the form of shifting certain leveling perks to flat XP boost, but also the ability to now reinforce your tree structures in your fort instead of having to fully rebuild that tier. Construction contracts now can also use eternal planks for a big bonus. A variety of POH related bugs have also been fixed. Anyway, that's all for this week. If you want to stay up to date on what's going on in Gilnor, make sure to subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and see you next time. Bye!